I'm going to do a really quick tier maker for the Scarlet and Violet era sets for TCG. This is from a collector's perspective, and of course it's very subjective. I'm sure you're going to disagree with lots of my takes, and if you do, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear where I'm wrong, and I will get some things wrong here because there's loads of information that's going to be thrown at you. Okay, let's get down into it, starting off with Scarlet and Violet base. Now, this is obviously a base set, so it's got quite a tough job. It needs to introduce all of the new Pokemon from the new region, and often they're not kind of super popular big hitters. In order to help base it along, it gave it Gardevoir as a returning Pokemon, which has a really nice evolution line and a great SIR as well. From a personal point of view, it's got an amazing service to Slowpoke. So one of the best Slowpoke cards to date. So it's got the Slowpoke IR. I kind of like the fact that he's peering from a doorway, not necessarily the main centered focus of the card, and that gives it quite a lot of character from my perspective. Also in there, you've got a really nice Kamiya Drowsy and a very cool Dondozo IR too. So the IR's excellent. The SIR's lacking a bit. I think the only real one that I'd probably want to chase if it was me is the Gardevoir. So for that reason, Scarlet and Violet goes into, I think it's probably an average set, but it's good because it has introduced grey borders, which I think is a huge positive change. It's introduced illustration rares for the first time, SIRs for the first time, which in my opinion just bumps it up to that kind of good level. Paldea Evolved. This is the largest set from the Scarlet and Violet era. I don't think it's got the best SIRs personally. I think they're slightly lacking. There are obviously no huge hitters in there. I think the most popular Pokemon in there is probably Masquerade or Quaquaval. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, by the way. I'm not sure how to say it. But other than that, I don't think there's anything crazy in that set from an SIR perspective. Now, IRs is where it truly shines. There's some amazing ones, and there's loads of them as well. I think there's 86 secret cards in total, most of them obviously IRs. You've got Sprigatito and Florigato, which I think are better than the Masquerade artwork. You've got Fuecoco, Crocalor. There's this really nice line, a Kamiya line of Frigivax, Artivax, and Baxcalibur. And then, of course, the headliner, the card, the Kanda Magikarp. I mean, this set has it all then, doesn't it? It has the chases, it has great IRs, it has unique artwork, it has some good triptychs. It just misses the SIRs at the top of the range. And for that reason, I'm going to put it as a very good set. It doesn't move into that amazing category, and it's not going to be the best one of the era. Okay, Obsidian Flames. This is a funny set. It's got the smallest number of secret rares from any set in Scarlet and Violet at 33. And I don't think there's anything like hyper chaseable in there. Obviously you've got the Charizard, which is nice, but I think it's probably the third best Charizard SIR from the Scarlet and Violet era overall. Bit of a spoiler there. You've also got the funny Pidgey MS Paint line. I think all of those three arts look like they're kind of done in MS Paint. Personally quite like it, but they are fairly divisive. Other highlights in the IRs, Ninetales, Gloom, Cleffa, but possibly the best card from this set is one that's kind of adjacent, and that's the Charmander promo from the ETBs. For that reason, I think it's probably a skip or average set. I'm going to put it in average because there are some good cards in there, but it's definitely not going up to the same level as Scarlet and Violet with good. Right, 151. I'm just going to put it straight there. This is the best set from the Scarlet and Violet era. For me, that's undeniable. It just has like the nostalgia, incredible chases, great artworks. It's got a perfect number of cards as well. So there's not too many here. I don't like it when sets get up to sort of, 279 cards in Paldea Evolved. And then if you add on the reverse holos, you kind of, and the promo cards as well, you kind of get into a 500 card set to complete a master set of that. And that's just way too big. It's too daunting. 151, much more manageable, 207 cards total. And then you can add on reverse holos if you wish. It is very hard to get hold of, so it's difficult because of that nostalgia, because it kind of harks back to the original Kanto Pokemon. It's tough for people to get, but if you can get it, it's a joy to open. The hit rates are good, the IRs are amazing. Pikachu, Machoke, Poliwhirl, Psyduck, Dragonair, you got the Squirtle, the Charmander, they're all amazing. The SIRs as well, they hit huge heights. I'm not going to mention the big three. Just looking at Alakazam and the Zapdos SIRs, incredible. So nothing more needs to be said about this set. It is the best, and I'm going to keep that as the best. There will only be one set at the top of my tier, and it's 151. Paradox Rift. This holds a bit of a place in my heart because it's the set that I started to collect with my daughter for the first time ever. That was because it was very available. You could find it in all of the toy shops, you could find it online, nearly at RRP, and so it was the most accessible one for us to start with. And it's got some good cards. It's got some really good cards. It's huge. It's a huge set again, which I kind of put in the negative column a little bit, but it's got some good chases. You've got the SIR Goldengo, Roaring Moon, the Altaria, some very nice IRs as well. There's too many IRs, but there's some good ones. You've got Mantite, Gimmighoul, Groudon, Morpeko's got a cool one in there, Swablu. So overall, nice stuff. I like the Kamiya Toadschool as well, which is just a standard card. I think Toadschool feels like a kind of hark back. You'd almost think Toadschool's been around for ages, and it's a new card, right? It's a new Pokemon, but it already feels quite established, and I like that card. I think it's very nice. This is a set without a huge big hitter, so you don't have the kind of any of the original Pokemon who are kind of shining in this set or headlining. And for that reason, it is kind of held down a little bit. I think my heart's saying very good, but I know it's only really a good set, to be honest. On to Paldean Fates. Might be a slightly controversial take here, but there are too many baby shinies in this set. And I don't really understand what a baby shiny is. I mean, what qualifies it to be a baby shiny? I know what a shiny is. It's a different coloured Pokemon, and you look at Staryu and you look at Starmie, and I get it. They're completely different colours. But then you look at Slowpoke and it's just a standard Slowpoke, unless I'm missing something, which I'm sure it must be. And for that reason, the baby shinies don't really make much sense to me. However, this set has the only, I would say, perfect set of SIRs in that there is no bad card in there. That's possibly because it's small, there's only 3, but you've got the Gardevoir, the Charizard, and you've got Bubble Mew. That is an iconic 3 SIRs. They're all great. I think the Charizard is the possibly second best one of this era. Second best SIR Charizard, that is, because you've got the one from 151, the one from Obsidian Flames, and this one. It's sort of challenging. It's quite close to the 151 for me. I like it. Again, not the most popular of everybody, but I think it's cool. And for that reason, I'm going to say Paldean Fates, very good SIRs. Baby Shiny's a bit weird, but it does make for a good opening experience because then you kind of get the hype of opening lots of cards with hits in. It's going in very good. I think the Bubble Mew puts it up to very good. I'm a fan of Bubble Mew. It's unique. It is iconic from the Scarlet and Violet era, and it will persist as a huge chase card. So yeah, very good. I think we take a step back a bit now in terms of the releases. I think Temporal Forces, it's very much a Gen 9 set, and it's focused on some of the Gen 9 Pokemon. My favourite card is probably, this is bizarre because I don't really collect them or I'm not that interested, but the Salvatore Kayama IR is awesome. It's just a really nice artwork, and I think it needs all the love. I probably prefer it from the other SIRs in the set. Maybe that's because I'm not into the particular Pokemon that are showcased here. So your Iron Leaves, Raging Bolt, Iron Crown, Walking Wake, etc. But yeah, I think maybe the chases for me, if I was opening the set, and I haven't done much Temporal Forces to be honest, is probably the Dealing a Swordsbark, the Ghastly card's cool. Quite like the Cutie Fly. It's got a sort of element of realism in there as well. So yeah, that's this set. Also brought back in Ace Specs during this set as well, which is interesting because they kind of almost feel like a mini hit as well. Even if you're a collector and you don't play the game, it's still nice to see a different color card come out. But yeah, overall, I'm putting this down as an average set. I just don't think it hits the highs. It hasn't got the headliner Pokemons that you'd want from a very good set. Right, Twilight Masquerade, another interesting set. Mainly from a personal perspective because I'm trying to master it with my daughter, and that is because of the Eevee Chase card. I wouldn't say it's the most amazing set overall, and the focus of the set being the Ogre Ponds brings it down in my opinion. They're not very exciting SIRs. I don't think it's the best in terms of artwork. They're always very kind of close-up masks. You don't really get to see much of a story or see much of the Pokemon itself. So for that reason, nothing too much at the top end. The one that everybody wants from this set is the Greninja, and I think it's overrated. I think there's too much going on. I don't know what all the colours are about in it. I don't know where his individual body parts are. I'm not sure what he's doing. I know it's an action shot, but I just can't tell what's going on. It reminds me of the kind of modern Transformer movies where it's just too much going on, it's too busy. So for that reason, the Greninja is a bit kind of middling for me. My favourite cards from the set are Eevee, Tatsugiri. I like the Chansey working in a library. Growlithe is an awesome card because it has the Perrin SIR as well, where Perrin the trainer is taking a photo, so you see the perspective of the photo taker and the Pokemon looking up as well. So that's great. But I think overall it probably lands in the good category. It doesn't go any higher than that, but I'm not putting it lower. Okay, this one is going to go lower. Shrouded Fable, skip it. It's a small set, it's not very interesting. The SIRs are all from the same artist. I don't particularly care for the art. I think it looks a bit like a kind of 90s Disney sort of matriarchal villain. And it just doesn't do it for me. They're all by the same artist, which is interesting. I don't know if there's any other set where all of the SIRs are by the same person. And obviously, you know, huge respect for them. That's a great thing for them to be doing. But for me, it doesn't quite hit the mark. The IRs, slightly better. I think obviously Persian's the main chase. You have got an interesting triptych in there of Duskull, Dusclops and Dusknoir. That's by like quite a new artist to Pokemon as well, called James Turner. Turner's obviously a great name for an artist. But I think that these are like the second, third and fourth cards that artist has ever done. And there haven't been any more to date. So looking forward to see if they come back and do more, because that is quite a unique art style and it really stands out and it kind of catches the eye. But with the exception of those IRs, I would say it's a skip it set. So there we go. It's going at the bottom of the league. Stellar Crown doesn't go much higher. My favourite cards are the at-home Pokemon cards, so where you've got the Bulba and Squirtle kind of in the swimming pool and things like that. That's nice, I like those, but that's as good as it gets. Everything else, the Cave Painting Hydrapple is probably my favourite SIR, but otherwise I'm just not that taken aback by the Galvantula and the Terrapagos. The kind of Terra Focus puts me off a little bit. I would just say, yeah, grab the Bulba, grab the Squirtle and move on with your life. Surging Sparks. It has the first kind of big hype wave, I suppose, behind it because of the Pikachu SIR here. And the Pikachu SIR is amazing, but again, it's probably the highlight. So you've got the Latias and Latios as secondary chases. And you've got the cool kind of slack off laying down on the grass as a kind of me feels card, which is nice, but I don't think it does enough to elevate it anywhere above average. Prismatic, okay, controversial take coming up. There are no IRs, fine, so everything is classified as an SIR. I think that means that the pull rate is harder because then you're not really getting that kind of satisfying hit as often. And then when you do hit an SIR, there's loads of them and it's so padded out that it's hard to actually get what you want. Everyone's here for the evolutions. No one's opening Prismatic because they want to get an Ogerpon. You've already had an Ogerpon focus set in Twilight Masquerade, so I don't know why they did it again. There's just too much padding within the SIR range. You've also got like the Roaring Moon, etc. And it just doesn't feel like it's necessary from my point of view. I do like some of the trainers. There's this kind of set of trainers which are by Tomo Waka, and they're kind of cartoon square trainers, which is a bit different. But again, you're not opening it specifically to try and get those. So it just pulls Prismatic down a bit. The evolutions are incredible. The fact there are God packs, incredible. I love the quality of the alternative reverse hollows, the Pokeball and the Master Ball. When you pull those, they feel special. It makes it a lot more difficult to master set mind, but they're still nice to see anyway. So Prismatic, incredible highs. The 8 evolutions plus the Eevee SIR are some of the best cards from the whole era, but there's so much fluff here within the set that it has to come down a peg. if they didn't have the Ogerpons and some of the other SIRs in there, it would be an amazing set. But I think that just drops it down into very good. The opening experience, I've got loads of sealed prismatic stuff, which I am going to open. I'm not hoarding it. I just haven't found the right time yet, and I'm put off a bit because so many people tell me it's just traumatic opening. So let's see, I'll get to it eventually. But at the moment, I think that sits in very good. Journey Together. This is, so it's funny. So I think this is underrated, but then it puts me in a position where I want to kind of boost it up, but I can't boost it up too far because although it's good, it's not a very good, amazing set. You've got the main chase being Clefairy, of course, so that's an original Kanto Pokemon, but not one of the primary kind of headliners. Outside of that, I think the real chase cards sit in the IR range. So you've got a very nice Articuno, Reshiram's awesome from this set, Wailords are kind of rising star, rising out of the water and rising in price and rising in popularity. You've got Noibat and also Furret, which is a huge hit with my daughter. I know it's a bit of a kind of cheaper card that no one's that interested in, but I like it. Overall, I'm putting that into good. That's where it sits and that's where it really does deserve to be. There is a big gap in Amazing at the moment on my tier list, and it's about to get filled. It's going to get filled by Destined Rivals, and that's because Destined Rivals is an amazing set. It's a return to a Team Rocket focus set. It's got incredible SIRs. You've got the Ho-Oh, the Moltres, I like the Garchomp. The Mewtwo, slightly overrated, I think. I think it's good. It's just not like incredible. It doesn't deserve necessarily the price tag it's got or the popularity. But, you know, I'd still love to pull it. It would be an incredible one to get and have in the collection. Destined Rivals is the first set that I tried to master set fully on the YouTube channel, and it's still going. So that tells you what the pull rates are like. It's a tough set. It's a hard master. It's really, really difficult. But the highs in there are worth it. The IRs, Rapidash, Weezing, Psyduck, Lapras. My personal favourite, the Typhlosion. It's dynamic. You've got loads of stuff going on, but you can still see the Pokemon. You can still see the trainer. So you know what they're doing. But it's still got that kind of energy, that dynamism. Overall, a great set. Love it. Worth the hype. Worth the price tag? Maybe not, because it is definitely booming at the moment in price. I think that'll come down a bit because Destined Rivals is included in loads of the Mega era like figure sets, the UPC it's in. So the kind of availability of packs is sort of going up a little bit, which hopefully will bring the price down on the secondary market because it's a set that I think everyone should try to open and have a go at. Okay, the final sets I'm going to include in one because they're so similar. So this is the true kind of love letter from the Pokemon Company to the Unova region. You've got IRs of every single Pokemon featured in Black Bolt and White Flare, and there are some incredible cards. Some of the IRs are brilliant. You've got the Joltik from White Flare, Meanshao, Gothita. I love the Boogermew from Black Bolt. I know that's a bit of a meme as well. Seismitoad's an awesome Candor. Carablast is a great Kamiya. So really nice IRs. Taking up a step, you've got the SIRs. They don't miss on the SIRs either. Kyurem, Zekrom, Hydreigon, Keldeo, Reshiram. All really strong cards, all cards that you'd love to pull, you'd love to have in your collection. And then just to take it even a tier higher, I think you can see where this is going. You've got the brand new rarity type of the black card, the white card, and the red card. And I love them. I just love the simplicity of them. I think they look really super clean. They're exciting, they're new, they're so much better than the gold cards from the Scarlet and Violet era. For that reason, Black Bolt and White Flare is going in amazing. It is a great set to open. It's really good fun. It's available. It's going to be the sets that people remember opening in 10 years time because it's been available in kind of high street shops. It's not been too far over RRP. So the kids will get involved. They'll love it. They'll enjoy it. And it'll be a future classic in my opinion. Okay. That is it. I'm just looking at the tier maker and I think I'm happy with that. I think that is where I would sign off and say, I feel this era lands. Like I said, subjective, people are going to disagree, and please let me know in the comments. I'd love to have a bit of engagement on this. I'd love to have people tell me where I'm wrong and why I'm wrong. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Other than that, I'll say please like the video and subscribe to the channel to get some good pack luck. And that is not a myth, by the way. check out this post from the Oak Labs Discord server where somebody actually testifies to liking one of my videos and it improving their pack luck. Thanks very much. Bye bye.